Police finds stolen jewelry in her bag. Her mother already convinced, and the brother calmly fills in gaps. But if everything is so clear, why does he avoid one simple question?
Thirsty, don't say another word. Just sit there and let them handle this. My mom's voice didn't shake when she said it. Mine did. I tried to speak anyway, but one of the officers shifted closer, like I'd already done something wrong. I was 14, sitting on our living room couch while two police officers stood by the door, my mom gripping her phone like this was already decided. My older brother leaned against the kitchen counter, arms folded, watching me like he was waiting for me to mess up again. They said they found stolen jewelry and cash in my backpack. But the thing is, I hadn't even touched my bag that morning, and when I looked at my brother, just for a second, he wouldn't meet my eyes. So if I didn't put it there, why did he look like he already knew how this was going to end? The officer closest to me cleared his throat, glancing between my mom and the open backpack sitting on the coffee table. The zipper was pulled wide like it had been opened for display. Inside, the jewelry box sat right on top, small, velvet, unmistakably not mine. "Ma'am," he said carefully, "we just need to confirm this was found in her bag?" "Yes," my mom answered immediately. Too quickly. "My son found it. He brought it to me." Her hand tightened around her phone like she was holding on to something solid in all this, like the answer was already locked in. I looked at my brother again. He still hadn't moved from the kitchen. Same position, same calm expression. But now he nodded slightly, like he was backing up her version without even needing to speak. I started. "Thirsty." My mom didn't raise her voice, but it cut through mine anyway. "Stop!" The second officer stepped a little closer, his tone more procedural now. "We're not here to argue. We just need the facts." But the facts weren't being asked from me. They were being handed over. "She's been different lately," my brother added, finally speaking. His voice was low, controlled, more secretive. That word landed heavier than it should have. Secretive. Like there had already been a pattern, like this wasn't random. My mom exhaled, almost like that confirmed something she'd already been thinking. "I didn't want to believe it either," she said, softer now, but not to me. Them. I felt my hands press harder into my knees, grounding myself, because none of this matched. Not the timing, not the way this was unfolding, not him. "Did you see her take anything?" the officer asked. There was a brief pause, and for the first time my brother hesitated, just slightly. "Not directly," he said. "But yesterday she was near Mrs. Calder's porch, hanging around." That wasn't true. I knew exactly where I was yesterday, but no one asked. The officer nodded slowly, like that was enough to build something on, like the gap didn't matter. I shifted slightly on the couch, my eyes flicking, just for a second, toward the staircase. No one followed the glance. "Thirsty," the officer said, turning back to me. "Is there anything you want to tell us before we proceed?" My mouth opened. I could feel my heartbeat in my throat, in my hands, everywhere. This was the moment. The only one I was going to get before everything locked into place. I looked at my mom, then at my brother. He was watching me now. Not calmly anymore, something sharper underneath. And then, just barely, he shook his head. A warning. I closed my mouth, swallowed whatever I was about to say. My mom unlocked her phone, her thumb hovering over the screen like she was about to make it official, like whatever happened next would be written down, recorded, decided. And that's when I finally spoke. "You might want to hear everything," I said quietly, "before you do that. The thing about my brother is, he never raises his voice. He doesn't have to. He's always been the one people believe first. Teachers, neighbors, my mom. especially my mom. He knows exactly how to sound reasonable, how to pause at the right time, how to let other people fill in the gaps for him. I've seen it before. Not like this, but enough to recognize the pattern. Little things would go missing, and somehow I'd be the last one who touched them. Arguments would start, and somehow I'd be the one who took it too far. He never accused me outright. He'd just say things like, I don't know, it just seemed off, and suddenly everyone was looking at me differently. Standing in the living room now, with 2 officers watching and my mom already convinced, it felt like all of that had just scaled up. Where was she yesterday afternoon? One of the officers asked. My mom didn't hesitate. In her room, I think. I wasn't, I said immediately. No one responded. My brother tilted his head slightly, like he was thinking. She went out for a bit, he added. Didn't say where. That wasn't true either. And the worst part wasn't even the lie, it was how easy it sounded. How normal! My eyes dropped to the coffee table again, to my backpack, to the way the zipper was fully open. I never leave it like that. Ever. A small detail. Easy to ignore. But I didn't. Because this time I knew exactly when that changed, and more importantly, who was the only one home when it did. This wasn't a mistake. This was planned. The more they talked, the worse it got, for me. One of the officers stepped aside, speaking quietly into his radio, while the other stayed focused on my mom. If the items belonged to the neighbor, this could move beyond a warning, he said. We may need to bring her in to sort it out properly. Bring me in. My mom's jaw tightened, like that settled it. Like whatever doubt might have been there just closed. I understand, she said. I just want this handled the right way. Not fairly. Not carefully. Just handled. She's been hiding things, my brother added, his tone still calm, still measured. I didn't want to say anything before, but it's been building. I looked at him. Really looked this time. He wasn't guessing. He was guiding. Every sentence moved things exactly where he wanted them to go. The officer turned to me. Thirsty. Do you deny these items were in your possession? She's already lied about where she was yesterday, my mom cut in. I didn't lie, I said, sharper now, but it didn't matter. The moment passed like I hadn't spoken at all. Pressure pressed in from every side. The room felt smaller.
If she supposedly lied about yesterday, why isn't anyone actually asking where she was? And why does that detail feel intentionally avoided?
Tighter, like everything was closing around a version of me I didn't recognize. But everyone else had already accepted. But I wasn't confused. That was the difference. A few days ago, I came home early. Earlier than I was supposed to. And my bedroom door was open. My backpack was on the floor. And my brother was standing over it. He didn't hear me at first. I didn't say anything. I just watched. And then I made a decision. Back in the living room, I lifted my head, my voice steadier than before. Can I show you something I said before you decide? Because this didn't start today, and I had proof. Show us, the officer said before my mom could interrupt. That was the first shift. Small but real. My mom turned sharply. There's nothing she can show that changes what's already been found. But the officer didn't move his eyes from me. He'll decide that. For the first time since they walked in, someone was actually waiting on me. I stood up slowly. My legs felt steady, not because I wasn't nervous, but because I already knew where this was going. I'd thought about this moment more than once. I turned toward the staircase. Behind me, I could feel it, the attention shifting. Just slightly. Not belief. Not yet. Just pause. I reached the top step, walked into my room, and grabbed the thing I'd left exactly where it needed to be. When I came back down, the room felt quieter, different. My brother had moved. He wasn't leaning casually anymore. He was standing upright now, arms no longer crossed, watching me directly, tracking. I stopped at the bottom of the stairs, holding the object in my hand, but not showing it yet. "This isn't necessary," he said, stepping forward slightly. His voice was still controlled, but thinner now. "She's just trying to confuse things." I didn't answer him. I looked at my mom instead. "You always believe him," I said. Calm, not accusing, just stating it. "So just listen this time." I turned the object slightly in my hand, just enough for the officer to lean in. My brother moved fast, one step forward. "Don't." That was the first time he'd said anything without control, and that's when my mom's grip on her phone started to loosen. Everything slowed down after that. Not in a dramatic way, just enough that every movement felt deliberate. I lifted my hand fully this time and turned the object toward them. It wasn't complicated, just an old phone. Cracked at the corner, screen already on. The recording app open. "This was in my backpack," I said. My voice stayed even. "A few days ago I noticed it had been moved, so I left this inside." No one spoke. I tapped the screen. For a second there was only static, fabric shifting, the faint sound of a zipper. Then my brother's voice. Clear, close. "You're so careless," he muttered, the sound of items being placed inside. The exact same soft clink the jewelry box made when the officer opened it earlier. Then another line, quieter, but sharper. "Let's see you talk your way out of this one." The room didn't react all at once. It fractured. The officer nearest me straightened immediately, his attention snapping away from me and locking onto my brother. The other stepped closer to the coffee table, replaying the sound in his head like he needed to confirm what he just heard. My mom didn't move. Her phone slipped from her hand. It hit the floor without her noticing. "That's not," my brother started, stepping forward. "That's not what it sounds like." But the recording kept going. No edits, no gaps. Just him, unzipping, placing, closing. There wasn't space left to reinterpret it. The officer turned to him. "Sir, we're going to need you to step over here." The shift was immediate. Same room, same people. But I wasn't the center of it anymore. He was. "I didn't take anything," my brother said, faster now. Less controlled. "I was just..." "Step over here," the officer repeated, firmer this time. My brother looked at my mom. For the first time, she didn't step in, didn't translate, didn't support. She just stared at him like she was trying to match the voice in the recording to the person standing in front of her. And failing. They guided him toward the door, not aggressively, but with direction. With purpose. The same way they had been preparing to guide me minutes earlier. The front door opened, then closed. Silence settled back into the house, but it wasn't the same silence. My mom finally looked at me. Really looked this time. Her phone was still on the floor between us, the same phone she was about to use to confirm everything against me. She started. But there wasn't a sentence ready after that. There wasn't an explanation that fit what just happened. I didn't help her find one. I just stood there, steady, exactly where I'd been told to sit before. The difference was no one was telling me to stay quiet anymore. "Next time," I said, not raising my voice, "don't decide before you listen." And this time, no one interrupted. Everything had already changed.
Makes you wonder how many situations look completely decided on the surface until one small detail shifts everything. So, how often is the real story sitting somewhere no one thinks to check?